Hello, welcome back to our English class. My students of class 4, I'm back to you with a lesson called A Trip to Dziikou. And this is me, Miss Vivekonyovile from Mount Sinai Higher Secondary School. Today, we are going to start a new chapter that is A Trip to Dziikou. You will find that in chapter 10, okay? I want you to get ready with your textbook. A Trip to Dziikou, chapter 10, and the page number will be from page number 40 to 45. We will learn along with some pictures, so I want you to get excited about it. I'm sure you have heard of Dziikou, isn't it? Dziikou Valley is one of the most popular places in Nagaland, not only in Nagaland, but all over India and even the world. It has gained a name at the international level. People from across the world come to trek to Dziikou to see its beauty. We are so blessed to have a place like that in our land, so we should all be grateful for what we have and also care for it. We are going to discuss about a trip to Dziikou. That means a person will narrate his story, okay, will narrate his experiences to some boys like you about how he trekked to Dziikou, okay? Let's get started. So, this is Dziikou Valley. Now, by looking at the picture, you must be aware of what it is like. We have always heard about Dziikou Valley. I've also always been hearing about Dziikou Valley, and so you might want to trek when you grow up, but not immediately, okay? Not immediately because you are still 8 or 9 years old, and it will be a little difficult for you to trek up to Dziikou, but you can have that as a plan to visit, okay? A place where you would visit in the future. So, Dziikou Valley has a lot of wild plants and flowers. It's surprising. It's wonderful. At home, we used to plant so many plants, but they don't come out as beautifully as this valley, okay? This valley has been really well designed by God, and we have to be grateful for having this kind of thing in our land, okay? This is Dziikou Valley. We have different kinds of flowers throughout different seasons. You will find these flowers in the month of June. It will bloom in the month of June. So every month or every season, a new species of flowers would be blooming. Isn't that exciting? It's very exciting, isn't it? If you see one, if you have a pot of flower at home, it starts blooming. You take joy. You look at it and you feel happy about it, isn't it? But here, you will always in Dziikou Valley. Let's imagine that it's God's created flower garden. So there are so many flowers, not just one or two or hundreds, but in thousands, okay? You will find thousands of flower plants like this. And even if we plant, it does not come out like this, so it would be interesting, isn't it? And this is another picture when it's not in bloom. Even when it's not in bloom, when the valley is not in bloom, it still looks beautiful and mesmerizing, okay? With the small rivers. We call this as rivulets, okay? With the small rivers flowing in between the valley. How beautiful would it be? We all like rivers. And these rivers are not those noisy rivers that they will disturb. It just flows very calmly, without any noise. We do not even know where the river is flowing towards because it's just so still. Still means not moving. So I'm sure now by looking at these two pictures itself, you already want to visit that place. I want you to come along with me to Dziikou Valley today, okay? Though you may not trek there physically, you can be there in your mind, in your imaginary world. That is what we are going to do today. But before getting into the story, as usual, we will have to learn some word meanings. Without learning those word meanings, reading the textbook will not be very helpful to you because unless you understand, it will just be like looking at some pictures. So we have to get ourselves prepared with the word meanings that we are going to come across in this chapter, okay? Let's read. The first one is adventure. Let's repeat adventure. A journey, activity, experience, etc. that is strange and exciting. We will go with the meaning once more. Journey, activity, experience, etc. That is strange and exciting. You have to read along with me, okay? Just me alone reading here will not help you, so you have to read along with me. The next one is stony, containing or covered with stones. Repeat, stony, containing or covered with stones. Next one, waterfall. You all know what is a waterfall, right? water falling straight down over rocks, sometimes from a great height. Let's look at it again. Water falling straight down over rocks and sometimes from a great height. The next one is scenic. Having fine natural scenery. Repeat. Having fine natural scenery. Next one is descent. To come, fall, or sink from a higher to a lower level, to go down. Repeat. Descent. To come, fall, or sink from a higher to a lower level, or to go down. These are some words. And then we still have a little more. Next one is dews, okay? Small drops of water which form on any cold surface during the night. Small drops of water which form on any cold surface during the night. Next one is tragopan, a species of pheasant whose natural habitat is Nagaland. A species of pheasant whose natural habitat is Nagaland. The next one, explore. To travel into or through a place for the purpose of discovery. Repeat, explore. To travel into or through a place for the purpose of discovery. Next, cumbersome. Heavy and awkward. Heavy and awkward. So these are some words that we are going to come across as we read along the textbook. I want you to keep your books ready every time when I take the class, because if there is anything that you want to know, by looking into your books as well as helping with the explanation, is going to be very beneficial for you. So textbooks are there, you should always refer to it even though you might be watching the videos, okay? And the main character here would be Mr. Puzo and 7 boys. Mr. Puzo is an aged man, is a matured man, and he will narrate about his experiences to 7 boys. 7 boys like you. The boys are 8 to 9 years of age. I'm sure some of you can relate to that, isn't it? The boys are 8 to 9 years of age. So now you can relate your age with the age of the boys. And you all like listening to stories or experiences from matured people, from adults, isn't it? Adults means grown-up human beings, okay? If you don't know who is an adult is a grown-up human being. Your father is an adult, okay? Your uncle will be an adult, your mother is an adult. And so, Puzo narrates his adventurous trip. Adventurous, you know what is adventurous? It is not an easy trek, but it is a strange adventure. He would be going on to an adventure, okay? And he had already gone to Dziikou, and so he wanted to narrate his exciting stories, okay? His exciting trip stories to these 7 boys. No, you must be excited. You can put yourself in the place of the 7 boys and imagine that I'm Puzo, so you have to listen. Puzo will be the narrator, okay? Narrator means a person telling you the story is called a narrator, okay? Now you can take me as your narrator, Puzo, and you can put yourself in the position of the 7 boys. They were sitting in the community sitting hall, okay? You have the council halls. We have places where the villagers would gather and have meetings, isn't it? It can be different types. Sometimes you see there are gathering places even outside your house. In villages, you might have seen that, isn't it? So elders would sit there and narrate their stories to young children, and they would be excited to listen to the stories of the elders. And so this is exactly what Puzo and the 7 boys were doing at this moment. Okay, here starts our trek. Okay, now you can see pictures of people getting ready for trekking. When we go for trekking, we do not go in our formal suits and coats, isn't it? We wear the most comfortable shoes and clothes so that there will not be any problem while we are going up that road. And when we go for trekking, we don't go for trekking in the cities, right? We go up to the mountains where there are no proper roads. If you're not willing, or if you are not ready to take those kind of travels, you should not plan on a trek. And one more thing that I want to add. If you are someone who always grumbles at every problem, don't go for a trek. You should be strong, okay? You should be strong if you are going on a trek. if a little bit of your feet hurts and you start grumbling, your friend will be irritated. They are also facing the same thing, but they are decided not to complain, and that's why they have taken up. So you should also be like your friend, okay? Puzo says that he and 4 friends went up for trekking to Dziikou, okay? And their journey started from Jakama via the National Highway 39. It's not 391, it's National Highway 39. And then they walked along the Kehore River. Kehore is the name of a river. Every river has a name. We have rivers like Doyang, Dziikou, isn't it? So we have the Dansiri. Likewise, there is also a river called the Kehore, okay? And birds were chirping around. It's like natural music. They were not playing. When you go out with friends, sometimes you want to listen to music, isn't it? But they were not playing those music. They were just following the natural music of the birds chirping. You can imagine of the rivers flowing down. So what a peaceful environment that would be. No noises of cars or factories and so on, but you see only the natural sounds like the birds. So it's a naturally gifted music for Puzo and his 4 friends. Okay, he and along with 4 friends, we're going up to trek the Dziikou Valley. They started from Jakama, you have to know that, via the national highway. Every highway has a number, okay? So our highway that runs from Dimapur across Kohima is called the NH39. NH means National Highway 39. So they started from there at Jakama. You might have known of Jakama village, right? Jakama is a village in Kohima district, and it is also the village where the famous college, St. Joseph's College, is there, isn't it? So by mentioning that, now you might be getting some ideas of where that village is located. If there is anyone who does not know where the Jakama is, okay, you can relate it with the famous St. Joseph's College, Jakama. And their climb was tiresome. I told you already. It was a tiresome. That means they were feeling tired. Duk payase, okay? They were feeling tired because they have to trek up all the way to the mountain. There is no proper road, okay? Of course, there will be roads, but cars cannot go. So you have to just keep walking and walking and walking. And remember, for a normal person to walk up to Dziikou Valley will take around 6 hours. Sometimes you walk for 30 minutes and you get tired and you will start complaining, my leg is hurting, my feet are hurting, and so on. But in order to reach Dziikou Valley, you will take up to 6 hours or even more. Okay, so they have to take multiple rest. You know what is multiple? More than one. So many times they had to take rest because they are also getting tired, okay? Though they were strong, they were also getting tired, and so they have to take multiple rest. So many rest on the way. But one good thing is there is a resting shed, okay? A place where you can rest. A house has been made, okay? Not the houses like we live in, but a shed so that you can be sheltered from rain and wind, okay? So there is a shed halfway. People are so thoughtful, see. They know that the people of that area, I should say that they were very thoughtful. They made a shed. They constructed a shed so that weary travelers, that means weary means tired, okay? So that tired travelers can go there and rest, okay? And so they enjoyed food in banana leaves. See, this is one picture, food in banana leaves. When we go out, we always want to carry food in banana leaves, right? It feels like people say that it tastes better, and even me, I feel like that. If you have not experienced, when you are going out, I would encourage you to pack your lunch or your tiffin in banana leaves, and you will find that that's more tasty. It's tastier than the food that is wrapped in your normal tiffin boxes. People also carry food like this in aluminum foils, and so, but I would want to encourage you to go for the leaves instead of this kind of lunch bag, because this kind of items pollute the environment, and it would be wrong on our part to pollute such a beautiful place. If you keep your rooms clean and tidy, but someone all of a sudden comes in and spits, what do you feel? I'm sure you won't feel good, right? We don't feel good. You have been working hard enough to keep your rooms tidy, to keep everything clean, but someone just come and throw sweet wrappers, or maybe throw some dirt into your classroom or in your bedroom. You all feel bad. So the same thing with nature. Instead of this kind of food packing, we should go for this thing, because for this kind of leaves, even if you throw it, you have to wrap it properly. You should not dirty the environment. But if you wrap it properly and throw somewhere, it will just get rotten in a month's time or even before that. So instead of polluting the environment, it's giving manure to the plants in that area. So I encourage you to go for this kind of food packing. And we have enough of banana leaves, banana trees here in our place. So there's no problem in getting it. It's also available in the market, and it's cheaper than buying this kind of food packings, okay? And so they enjoyed. They were tired the whole day. They were prepared about it. So wherever you go, what you have to know is you have to keep yourself prepared to face whatever comes your way. And then while going up, they also saw a writing on the reed. It is not easy road to heaven. But here, let's read. Going to Dziikou is nothing hard like going to heaven. So it's a word of encouragement, isn't it? They were feeling so tired and they must be feeling that it's very difficult, but they are encouraging people with this signboard. This is a real signboard that you find in Dziikou Valley, okay? I'm not just giving it, but you will find this writing on the way to Dziikou. So it would be an encouragement again. If I cannot climb this, you all want to go to heaven, right? If I cannot climb this, maybe heaven would be too difficult, so people will just be motivated and start working again. And so just before reaching the top of the hill, okay, a beautiful waterfall. You know what is a waterfall, right? This is not exactly a waterfall at Dziikou Valley, okay? But waterfalls are like this. I'm showing you this. Just before reaching the top of the hill, there is a waterfall. And then Mr. Puzo and his friends filled their bottle with water. See, you can see a man filling the bottle with water, because the water is so fresh and clean, you would want to have it. You can just drink from there directly. And so they wash themselves. They must be feeling hot and sweating also, so they wash themselves, fill their bottles with water. And then after reaching the top, the scenic view relieved their tiredness. They were all so tired, working and working and working for hours, okay? But after reaching the top, this is what you see. All their tiredness gone away, okay? Their tiredness were gone away. They were just looking at the beauty of Dziikou Valley, and then it felt like everything had fallen off of them. They were tired, but they don't remember their tiredness anymore. I've experienced this. You will also experience this when you grow up, okay? And then after reaching the top, they have to move down. Descend means to go down. That's what we read, isn't it? They have to go down, but it was less tiring because we know climbing downhill is easier. And then there were some big holes, and they learned. Puzo is narrating all these things, okay? And he said that these big holes are the footholds of elephants. And there are so many beautiful hillocks. Hillocks are this. Mountains and hillocks are different, okay? Hillocks are usually small hills like this you see, whereas we see some mountains here, right? We see some hills, but these small ones are called the hillocks. And there were also caves, okay? There were some caves where people will go and rest, okay? People will even camp there for days and days, and it's safe. They're so big that around 9-10 people can sleep in a cave. And Puzo and his friends, 4 friends, slept there. But he also said that during his grandfather's and forefathers' time, people used those caves as a war cave. They will go to the caves, stay there, and then fight with the enemies. That's what he said. And when you go down to the valley, okay, there's a big river like this. There are so many small rivulets, but you will find a big river. It's so nice, but the water freezes at night. You know what is frozen, isn't it? If you keep water in the freezer, you get the ice cubes, you see that all the water gets frozen. So like that, Dziikou is very cold, okay? Dziikou Valley is very cold that even the water, not only during the winter, okay? During the winter, it stays frozen throughout the day, but even during summer, the water freezes at night. But Puzo said that he regrets that they could not see the tragopans and wild elephants. We know the tragopan is a bird found in Nagaland. We have already discussed about that, right? He is regretting that because of the bad weather condition, they could not see the tragopans and the elephants. They stayed there for 3 days. So he showed the photographs to the 7 boys who were listening. I want you to remember, okay? There were 7 boys who were staying with him, listening to his stories. So he showed the photographs to them. And after looking at the photographs, the young boys were eager to visit. That means they really want to visit. You also feel like that when you see a beautiful place, right? But he advised them again, okay? He told them that they are still too young to trek that far. Yes, that's true. That's why I'm telling, in the future you have to plan to visit, but not now. How can you walk 6-7 hours all the way uphill, isn't it? And so Puzo also told them that they had to wait for some time, okay? But in the meantime, he advised them that we should be grateful for God's creation. There are people who does not even see trees in their places. But here in our place, we have a lot of natural beauties and scenic views like the Dziikou Valley. So it is our duty to care and protect this natural environment. I'm not saying that you have to go and protect everything in Dziikou Valley right now, but there might be some plants in your area, or you can even plant a small sapling, a small tree right now, and then in that way you're also caring for nature. Nature heals us, and so we should also take care of nature. Okay? We will just quickly learn about some facts about Dziikou. It is 25 kilometers away from Kohima. Remember this, 25 kilometers away from Kohima. Alpine winter, we are discussing about the weather, okay? Moist, hot and warm summer, tropical autumn and flowering spring. It is estimated that there are 800 species of plants. Okay, estimated means no one can find it out exactly, but people say that there are 800 species of plants found in Dziikou Valley, and also numerous medicinal plants. Okay, there are some plants which are medicinal, you know that, isn't it? We have so many medicinal plants in Nagaland, and so even in Dziikou, you will find so many medicinal plants which is going to be healing to people with different kinds of disease. But we will not discuss about that today. And so with that, we are going to end our class for today. And once again, showing you the beautiful valley of Dziikou Valley, which you will surely visit after some days. And I want to thank you so much for listening to me patiently, learn the lesson, and also learn to care for nature.